Thank you. Next.
Bet. Saw him coming.
Cases.
Do it every
All
time.
right,
See?
we've already got the dew flowing this morning. Guys, let's do this. Let's jump in. I'll let you get to that in a second. But first, we got to talk about Baker Mayfield. Skip's guy. He made his first comments since getting traded. He said he's ready to turn over a new leaf in Carolina. The former top pick is set to battle with Sam Darnold for that starting quarterback spot. Baker referred to what he's looking forward to the most, saying, quote, "To me, it's ready for a fresh start, first and foremost." Shannon Sharp, what's your biggest takeaway from Baker's comment?
He seems happy to be out of Cleveland. Him giving back $3.5 million tells you that he was ready to turn the page in Cleveland. It didn't end very well. I don't know how did it turn so fast, so quickly, Skip. But Baker was ready to move on. The Cleveland Browns let you know they were willing to move on because they invested more money on a quarterback than anybody in NFL history. As a matter of fact, more than any player in NFL history. They guaranteed the entire contract. That's never been done before. And they did it to the tune of $80 million more, more money than what Aaron Rodgers had gotten guaranteed, the $150. They said, we'll do better than that. We'll do the $230. So Cleveland was ready to move on. Baker was ready to move on. And Skip, and I heard him, and he said all the right things. You know, I've learned, some of the things that I've learned from and blah, blah, blah. But the proof is going to be in the pudding. And guess what, Skip? We'll get an opportunity to see very, very early on. You know how soon we'll see? Because if Baker Mayfield is starting opening day, guess who they play? Now, we saw what happened when they played Cincinnati. When Hugh Jackson was relieved of his duty, he went on the staff of the Cincinnati Bengals. Mm-hmm. What did Baker do? So we're going to see how the maturity factor, we're going to see, because it keeps coming out now, and I don't know how true it is, Skip. Maybe they're trying to dirty and salty the man up or muddy the man up after he's gone. But it seems to me they keep saying he was childish, he was immature, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know if that's to be true, but all I'm saying is this, is that we're going to see through some of his actions how much he's grown, how much he's learned from the situation in Cleveland. And hopefully he's learned a lot. Hopefully the shoulder's healed, he's progressing right on time. For me, I think one thing that does show, I don't know me, Baker, I wouldn't give him no money. I'd have told him, kiss my butt. I'd have kept rehabbing, getting ready, and when they'd ultimately release me, I'd have been ready to go sign somewhere and show that I'm ready to play. I would have given none of that money back because I'm under no obligation. That's you guys. You signed the contract. We're going to talk about this a little later about signing a contract and what it means, especially this is the only time that you can get guaranteed money in the NFL. So if I'm Baker, I wouldn't have given him any of it back. But he did because he was willing to move on. Cleveland graciously accepted him giving some of the money back because they was ready to move on. I'm anxious to see, Skip, how much he's grown, how much he's matured from this situation. This is a new opportunity for him. Let's see if he's learned a lesson.
By the way, I just can't. This is sticking in my craw. I had a whole lot I was about to say, but you continue to shame my man Baker Mayfield because he got replaced by a top 3 quarterback. At least the last time I saw Deshaun Watson, he was a top 3 quarterback. That would mean that there would be 29 other quarterbacks who should be replaced by Deshaun Watson, and you're throwing Baker Mayfield in as if it's the ultimate humiliation and embarrassment.
No.
Well, it's not.
No.
Who wouldn't do that?
But let me tell you, but here's the thing. It just happened to be Deshaun. They were on the market looking for a quarterback. They should have never been on the market looking for a quarterback.
I don't think they were on the market.
They absolutely were.
He came on the market, and you were the first to tell me this is unprecedented.
Yes.
A 25-year-old quarterback of this caliber, of the highest echelon, is suddenly weirdly available.
I believe if they could have got an opportunity to sign Matt Ryan, they would have taken Matt Ryan over Baker Mayfield. Do you still believe that's a viable option?
I don't.
I do.
I do not. We'll see how that works out. Okay, now, my biggest picture takeaway from yesterday, having watched what I watched and having seen what I saw from Baker Mayfield, I concur he was on his best behavior. It's because Baker Mayfield is back in business, doing what Baker does. He is now the underdog quarterback for the ultimate underdog team, and this is the role he embraces. This is the team that is ranked 32nd in the last ESPN.com power ranking.
Okay.
32nd and last are the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
I've told you, they're an even bigger clown show than the Cleveland Clowns are. And the point is that to your point, I echo, Baker chose to go to the 32nd ranked team. Mm-hmm. He chose it because this is the path that he knows. This is the path that he used to walk. He's not the ultimate powerhouse quarterback. He's not a Deshaun Watson. He needs to come from behind. He needs to sneak up on you.
Yeah, but Skip, let's not pretend now he had a whole lot of options. He's eating potted meat because that's his option. Kobe is not on the menu. Lamb chops and lobster tails aren't on the menu. That's what's on the menu. Carolina was his option. You make it seem like he had options.
Well, you just said he had options. You just said the ultimate play was to just sit back and make them sweat until they finally folded.
Yeah, but
because we were getting close. We're getting close enough to train camp.
2 weeks.
Okay. They're going to fold because they don't want him back because it's just such an awkward situation. I made the case that if they could swallow their clown show pride in Cleveland, that they would play Baker Mayfield. Again, we don't have an outcome yet on Deshaun's availability next year. I don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be gone for 8 games, gone for 6 games, or gone for 17 games? I don't know. But it's possible it's going to be gone for 17. We'll see soon enough. But if he's gone for 17, then what better option could you have than a Baker Mayfield who just 2 years ago won your first playoff game in 26 years?
Well, they saw 4 years of body, so they don't need to see another 17 games.
Okay.
They saw 4 years of work, and they weren't pleased.
I'm just telling you, or maybe I should ask you, would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Jacoby Brissett for 17 games next year if you're Cleveland? Because I think that answer is painfully clear for the Cleveland Clown Show. It's clearly Baker Mayfield. But there was bad blood. There was too much water under that bridge. The bridge had burned to the ground. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they're saying, we have to get out from under. Well, if you have to, then the Baker play, to your point, was just make them sweat and fold. Mm-hmm. Because if they fold, they're going to have to eat the whole contract. Yep. And if they have to eat the whole contract, that makes you free to go sign wherever you want to go.
Yes.
And I'm convinced, Mike Florio reported that any number of teams, up to 11 different teams, would have been interested, or at least should have been interested, in Baker Mayfield if he hit the complete free agent market, where you didn't have to compensate Cleveland at all for him or pay 1 penny of his salary.
Right.
So all of a sudden, this thing's on hair trigger. It's coming to the 11th hour, and Baker says, you know what? I'm going to eat $3.5 million of my salary because I want to go to Carolina. I want to. He can earn it back through incentives because he's incentive driven. His whole life has been one big incentive play because he had to walk on at Texas Tech. And then he fell apart with Cliff Kingsbury, and he had to walk on at the University of Oklahoma. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He effectively just walked on at Carolina. That's what he's doing. He's going to be a walk-on quarterback, walking in as probably on the depth chart. I don't even know if there is one out there yet, but I'm pretty sure Sam Darnold is at least penciled in as the opening day starter.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a 50-50 battle on the field, but I just think that because they are having to pay Sam Darnold, they chose to pay Sam Darnold $19 million this coming year because they gave a second-round pick for Sam Darnold along with a fourth-round pick, along with the sixth-round pick for Sam Darnold. Their pride is tied up in Sam Darnold. Well, he's 2 years younger than Baker. He's 25 to 27. He's a great young man by all accounts. Baker can be a little prickly. Baker can be a little jerky every once in a while. He can be a little smug and condescending. It's part of the Baker package. It's why I like him. I don't want to be friends with him. I just like the way I like his spunk and his spirit on the football field when he gets a team behind him where they're all